Get the squad together for this year's Junior Grizzlies 3-on-3 tournament, presented by 2K at the Built Ford Tough practice facility inside FedEx Forum. On Saturday, January 4th, teams will compete in 3 games before advancing to single elimination play. Overall winners from the 10 and under, 12 and under, and 14 and under divisions will win Grizzlies tickets, including exclusive access to the pregame team shoot-around before the Grizz take on the Pelicans January 24th. Sign up today at hoopitup.com/Grizzlies.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you like the 30 for 30 collection that ESPN has been doing for a long time now, because we've got a new episode coming later this week. I didn't plan to watch it, but I might now. I'm interested now. They shared a clip yesterday, featured Brett Favre, Mark Gastineau, and it went viral very quickly. Awkward situation. I'll walk you through it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, about 20 minutes, Chris Vernon is going to join me. He's the host of the Chris Vernon Show. Weekdays, noon, Grind City Media. He's our in-house NBA expert because of the work he does with the Ringer. The NBA Cup quarterfinals were held last night.
Yeah.
Interesting developments, I think. I'll ask him to tell me what I missed while I was watching the Jimmy V Classic. Chris Vernon will be in studio. We'll do that in the next segment. Finish talking to him. We're going to take a break. Come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, the SEC did sweep the Jimmy V Classic last night. Tennessee beat Miami. Arkansas stormed back in the second half to beat Michigan. We'll discuss all of that. We'll do it in about 40 minutes. 2 of the best freshmen played like 2 of the best freshmen in the country last night. Rutgers beat Penn State. Ace Bailey, awesome. Dylan Harper, awesome. 2 projected top 5 picks, maybe 2 projected top 3 picks. I'll run you through their stat lines. We'll do that a little later on in the show. Fandango has unveiled its list.
Great name.
Fandango.
I love Fandango. That's just a great name.
Fandango.
I'm not like some massive fan of the company or anything, but I just love the name.
Fandango. It's fun to say.
It's really fun to say.
Fandango.
They did well with that.
Did you see how much fun I've been having saying that over the last 15 seconds or so?
Yeah.
Fandango has unveiled its list of the most anticipated films of 2025. They did a survey, a little bit like our Candid Coaches survey that we do over at CBS Sports.
Yeah.
Except instead of surveying coaches, they survey, I guess, could be coaches. Could be anybody.
Goers.
Theater goers. Coaches go to the theater too, Bennett, though, I think. I mean, I never heard one talk about it, but I'm assuming there is a coach who's been to a theater.
Can you research that and find out if there's like a coach in this country that's a massive film fan?
I'll look into it.
Okay.
I'm going to look into it, then I'll connect you
Let me
guys.
know. Yeah, that'd be
I'll look
fun.
into it, then I'll connect you guys. Fandango conducted a survey, and they said, hey, what film are you most looking forward to in 2025? We got a top 10. I'll see what Bennett's looking forward to. We'll do that a little later on in the show. In the past 4 days, it's been fun. I've watched Juan Soto move to the NL East and join the Mets, and I've watched Max Fried move out of the NL East by leaving the Braves. So this is great development. The Yankees had a lot of money to spend because they missed out on Juan Soto, and they gave it to a Braves starter. Fine with me. Get him out of the NL East. Get him out of there. It's been a good little stretch, as far as I'm concerned. I'll give you the details. We'll do that. We'll do it in the second hour. And Americans are now urging, of all people, Kim Kardashian to start working on getting Luigi Mangione a pardon, and then they want her to put him in a Skims campaign.
Okay.
I mean, it ain't like she ain't never worked to get a pardon done before.
No, she's known to do this.
How many pardons have you ever got done?
I never have. Well, I haven't had to.
I haven't had to either.
But
I hadn't pardoned any. I haven't worked on a pardon and got that accomplished. You haven't done it. Kim Kardashian has. So now Americans, some, not all, some, are urging her to go get Luigi pardoned and then put him in a Skims campaign. He does have good abs. I think that's a lot of opinions on Luigi. Mm-hmm. They vary in various ways.
Yeah, that's right.
I think one everybody agrees on is he does have nice abs. It's the high-profile case that keeps on giving.
Yes,
we'll spend a
does.
few minutes on that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's Carry Out and call it a day. So that's the rundown. We ran through the entire Lucero song. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with a 30 for 30 that is scheduled to debut later this week. It's called the New York Sack Exchange.
It's a great name.
Pretty good.
That's a pretty good name, yeah.
Pretty good. Well, I mean, it really just, they didn't invent that. That was the nickname given to the front 4 defensive linemen of the New York Jets during the 1980s. So they really just took that name and then put it on
I didn't realize that.
Put it on a document. Hey, Bennett, you should learn stuff sometimes when you're sitting in here.
Yeah, I am.
This
learning something
this
new.
can be an educational experience sometimes. Let me guide you.
Okay.
New York Sack Exchange, originally the nickname given to the front 4 defensive linemen of the New York Jets during the 1980s. It is now the name of a documentary scheduled to debut later this week. The 4 linemen were Joe Klecko, Marty Lyons, Abdul Salam, and Mark Gastineau. And no, I didn't remember that. I looked it up about 20 minutes ago. Of the 4, the biggest name clearly Mark Gastineau.
Yes.
His daughter, I believe, went on to be in reality shows and stuff.
Okay.
I think that's true.
I want to know who it is now.
Google that.
Let me find that out.
Google that.
Okay.
He's a 5-time Pro Bowler. He's the first player to ever lead the NFL in sacks in consecutive seasons. He's been ranked among the top 10 pass rushers in NFL history. And for a while, he held the record for most sacks in a single season. That record was 22, and he set it back in 1984.
Okay.
Which leads us to this awkward moment that went viral yesterday. Let me tell you what's going on. So, Mark Gastineau sets a single season record for sacks at 22. He does it in 1984. Fast forward to 2001. And Michael Strahan, television star now, but previously football player, also sacked folks the same way Mark Gastineau used to do. And Michael Strahan is like, he's charging for this record. He's right there. He's a half sack behind Mark Gastineau in the final game of the season.
Okay.
And he's playing Brett Favre, and he gets a sack on Brett Favre that even in real time was considered controversial. Again, I have very little recollection of any of this, but I went back and read about it last night, went back and watched it last night. You can find the video. It's out there on YouTube. All you got to do is Google, type in Michael Strahan, Brett Favre, record-setting sack, and it pops right up. It's a weird sack in the sense that it doesn't look anything like you're used to seeing in a football game. Brett Favre rolls out, and when he rolls out, Michael Strahan's just like standing there. And if he wants to kill him, he can kill him. And Brett sort of takes a fall, and Strahan gets on top of him. It's a sack. That's the record. Mark Gastineau, at the time, congratulated Michael Strahan, and did what we often see legends do when their record is broken. I think most famously in recent years, we saw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and LeBron James have this moment when LeBron became the all-time scoring leader. Kareem was in the building. Kareem, I think, symbolically passed a ball to him or handed a ball to him, and you get that moment. This is the way these things tend to go. And on that day, that is how it went, from the perspective of Mark Gastineau. But as this documentary is getting ready to get published, ESPN promoted a clip from the documentary yesterday, and it very quickly got a lot of attention because it's just awkward and uncomfortable to watch. The scene is that Brett Favre and Mark Gastineau coincidentally happened to be at a memorabilia show, I believe in Chicago.
Okay.
And Brett's over here signing footballs and pictures and whatever anybody asks him to sign for a certain amount of money. And Mark Gastineau's over here, other side of the room, doing the same thing. And, sprinkled throughout more professional athletes and legends of our sports. What the camera picks up on is Mark Gastineau and Brett Favre eventually having an encounter. And I won't even ruin it for you. I'll just let you watch it, and we'll all get uncomfortable together. Let's watch this. Here's what ESPN promoted yesterday.
I thought we met a long time ago. At least I saw you.
Right.
How you doing?
When you fell down for him. I'm going to get my sack back. I'm going to get my sack back, dude.
You probably would hurt me.
Well, I don't care. You hurt me. You hurt me. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
You really hurt me. You hurt me, Brett.
We got to get back to this, Brett. I'm sorry.
Anybody will tell you Brett Favre took a dive.
Yeah, that's...
you know it. She knows it. He knows it. And everybody knows.
Oh, this is from the thing?
I didn't know what had happened. The NFL should have stopped that and said, listen, no. That's not a sack. He took my record away from me.
Mark Gastineau's record.
So, in real time, he congratulated Michael Strahan the way Kareem congratulated LeBron. Mm-hmm. But you can tell that he didn't feel right about it. He genuinely believes that a record that he had held for nearly 2 decades was stolen from him in some sort of, I think he would take it there, conspiracy between Brett Favre and Michael Strahan. Mm-hmm. There is always been suspicion that not only did Brett give him the sack, but that they actually talked about it. Like, hey, if we're getting up against it and the game's just whatever, I might do this and you might do that. And nobody's ever admitted to that, but people have always wondered if that was real. And I bet you Brett Favre has never or rarely thought about it since it happened over the past 2 decades. But from that clip, it seems clear Mark Gastineau has been thinking about it nonstop and
forever.
Is genuinely bothered by it. Did you see his demeanor, hear his tone, see his face? He said, Brett, you hurt me. You hurt me. And Brett Favre doesn't know what to do.
No, he's at a loss for words.
It's like, whoa, because it's a large man who seems bothered and perhaps not well. That didn't just look like somebody who was mad. That looked like somebody who wasn't well. Mm-hmm. I don't want to joke around, but
no, I agree with you.
But one day he'll pass, and we'll do an autopsy, and we'll see what they find.
I got you. Yeah.
We'll see what they find.
Yeah, right.
But that looked awkward and uncomfortable. Did you find it as awkward and uncomfortable as I did?
Yeah, I did. I've watched the video of the sack. Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I don't think anything malicious happened there.
But when I watched it, here's what I believed.
Yeah.
Brett Favre just turned and you just go down.
Michael Strahan's right there.
He's right there. It's like if I'm looking this way and I turn around and Michael Strahan's right there. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And he just goes down.
Yeah, it wasn't like we're facing off, ha ha ha. That's not what it was like.
But you would agree with me.
It was quick.
Would you agree with this?
Yeah.
It's an unusual looking football play.
It is. Yeah, it is.
It doesn't look like something we normally see in a football game. But I'm with you. The best thing Brett Favre could have done in that moment is just do exactly what he did, which is fall down. I'm not taking this hit. I'll go down. You touch me. Get your sack. Congratulations. I'm not getting hit. But it's a real thing, apparently, that I was just unaware of because I don't care that much. But it is a real thing in football circles.
I didn't know about it either.
That this was not supposed to go down like this, and this was cheap and possibly even orchestrated by Brett Favre and Michael Strahan.
There it is right there.
So let's watch it together. Here it is. See, he turns, and it's just like...
I mean, I find it hard to believe that there's some collusion there, that those guys are just like, that he's like, hey, I'm going to give it to you here. I don't know.
So what's interesting is, like, by the way, Michael Strahan no longer holds the record. So it's TJ Watt now.
Or they're tied, right?
They're tied, yes, tied. So it's not...
Which is weird. They're both tied with 22 and a half.
Right.
I don't understand. That's weird, yeah.
Well, but here's my point. The reason Mark Gastineau is no longer the single-season record holder for sacks in the NFL isn't because of Michael Strahan. It's TJ Watt, too. Even if you take Michael Strahan and just remove him from the record books...
Yeah, you would have already gotten past.
You would have been past already. Now, you would have held it much longer.
Sure.
But you would still no longer be the record holder in this moment. But Mark Gastineau doesn't seem to care about that. He was genuinely like...
Oh, yeah.
What?
He was going, I want to get my sack back.
When somebody says that to you, you don't know what's about to happen.
I know.
Like, you can see...
I was like, wait, are they going to fight? Is he going to hit Brett? Yeah.
You can see Brett Favre like, I just saw a familiar face of a fellow legend, and I was just coming over to say what's up. I did not know this was going to go like. Have you ever had an encounter like that with somebody? You see somebody and you recognize them and you think, well, this will be a friendly, like, what's up? How you been? Good to see you. And it turns really ugly really quickly and uncomfortable.
Yes. I can't think of a specific situation, but I know I've been in that situation before. Yes.
Yeah, like I see somebody and clearly, because I've been in this, not a lot, but you see somebody and it's like, I don't have any feelings about this person at all, good or bad. I just don't even, they're not in my world. And I don't assume I'm in their world. But we are familiar with each other. I just made eye contact with you. I'll say, what's up? And clearly, they're not happy to see you the way you were happy to see them. And they've been carrying around something with them that you didn't even really know existed.
Yeah.
That's what Brett Favre looked like to me. Like, what is happening right now? So keep in mind, this encounter happened years ago. It just was brought to the forefront yesterday because they used it as a clip to promote a 30 for 30, which it worked. Congratulations.
Yeah, for sure.
It worked as well as any clip could work to promote something. Brett Favre did jump on Twitter last night to address it. And let me be clear. I think Brett Favre is a despicable human, and there's a lot of evidence to support that. I'm not a fan. I used to be.
Oh, man, that's hard for me.
Fellow Mississippian, NFL star. I've never had a favorite NFL team. Never. I wanted to like the Bengals once upon a time during the Ickey Woods, Boomer Esiason stuff.
Yeah.
And, it never caught.
Yeah, I got.
And then it never felt appropriate for me to just pick another team.
Yeah.
I felt like I'd done that as a child with the Mets. This is just going to be my team.
Yeah.
Even though I have no actual relationship to them, I'm just going to pick that as my team. And I didn't feel like I could do that again.
Yeah.
And so I didn't. I've never had a favorite NFL team. But I've had favorite players.
Oh, man.
And Brett Favre was one of them. I would root for Brett Favre.
Growing up in the 90s in the South, Brett Favre was like,
I loved him.
The dude.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
We found out some stuff about Brett Favre, though, that makes me not love him nearly as much. Seems to be, not the best. He's tried to steal from poor people in a poor state. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I don't like Brett Favre.
Okay.
I don't think. I love what he posted on Twitter last night. I thought he handled this maybe not perfectly, but beautifully. Did you see the tweet?
I did.
I'm going to read it to you.
Yep.
Tell me what you think. Brett Favre tweeted last night after this was going viral. He said, back in 2002, when Michael Strahan sacked me at the end of a game that we had wrapped up, I was in no way trying to hurt Mark Gastineau. I was trying to close out a game and squeeze the last bit of fun out of a hard-fought game. I booted out of a run thinking it would be wide open, saw Strahan standing there and ducked down. The game was over. There was no need for me to do anything spectacular. It probably wasn't Michael's best sack or tackle for loss. In a different game or situation, I would have made a bigger effort to avoid the sack or tackle for loss. But at no point was I thinking about hurting Mark Gastineau. Maybe it crossed my mind to help Michael Strahan. I didn't think it through. That wasn't my forte at the time. I just wanted to have fun and compete. In retrospect, I understand how Mark Gastineau feels, though. We played a brutal game. Mark Gastineau played during an era where guys didn't make generational wealth. And I see now how being the, quote, sack king would elevate his value at card shows, strengthen his case for the Hall of Fame, increase his demand as a public speaker. I had no way of knowing that then. I realize now that the potential financial implications, because football is far more business-oriented than when we, Mark and I, played. But there was no malice on my part. Mark was a great player. My understanding is that he's a great guy and a fun teammate, a guy who played with the kind of joy and passion I tried to mimic. I understand his frustration, but I am not his enemy. A while back, he saw me at a card show and got his frustration off his chest. It's not the kind of moment that should be filmed and released. It was a private moment of frustration between two old football warriors. I have a great deal of respect for Mark. I hope one day he joins me in the Hall of Fame. He earned it. Look at his numbers. He eclipsed 20 sacks twice and had 19 in another year. Mark definitely left a mark on the game. I hope this controversy brings attention to just how great Mark Gastineau was. He belongs in Canton. Merry Christmas, everyone. Brett.
I mean, I think that's all pretty honest.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And I actually, it's weird Mark Gastineau's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Michael Strahan's a Hall of Famer, right? I don't know if he's got to be.
If he's not, he will be.
He will be, yeah. I'm pretty sure he already is. Since he hadn't played in a long time.
Yeah, you could, I just thought that was really good. There's a million ways you can react to that moment. And I even understand Brett's frustration about, hold up, why is this out now? Mm-hmm. Clearly it was because they were filming a documentary and they had cameras there and they might have even orchestrated this moment. They might have even been like, hey, Mark, do you realize Brett Favre is here? Get the cameras. They might have pushed him in that direction. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I can understand Brett's frustration, what is happening? It's 2024. This happened in 2021 or whenever it happened at a card show years ago. Why is this I understand the frustration and I didn't expect to be in the middle of all this. But then I love the way it's so easy for people to just dig in and refuse to understand somebody else's perspective. We do this all the time in life. You just decide something is the way it is, and you will not listen to anybody else's perspective. I promise you, before that happened, Brett Favre never or rarely thought about Mark Gastineau. And if somebody would have said, well, Mark Gastineau hates your guts because you did what you did, Brett Favre would have been like, what? Well, then,
why?
Well, then he can hate my guts. I don't care. That just sounds silly. But it appears to me that he put real thought into it.
Yeah.
And he said, I had no way of knowing back then that I would, quote, hurt Mark Gastineau by doing what I did. But thinking through it, and as a retired football player myself now, where our wealth in many ways does come from titles and labels and things we can say about ourselves and things other people can say about us when we go to memorabilia shows. When they introduced me as a Super Bowl champion in a variety of ways. And there was a scenario where Mark Gastineau would have spent another 2 decades being introduced as the all-time record holder for sacks in a single season. This is Mark Gastineau. And in some way, yeah, I did take that from him. I wasn't trying to take it from him. I didn't wake up on that day saying, I'm about to take this from this man. I didn't, even in that moment, say, I'm about to take this from this man. I just saw a big man coming at me as I booted out of a run. And in a game that's already decided, I didn't want to take another hit. So I went down. That's the long and short of it. I didn't put any more thought into that. The game's over. My options in this moment are to get hit or fall down. I fell down. But looking back on it, and after seeing Mark and listening to Mark, can I understand his perspective? Can I understand where he's coming from? Yeah, I think I can. And I do. I like that. I like it when you can think about something and reach a conclusion that you wouldn't have reached before you thought about something. So I can't vouch for Brett Favre in every aspect of his life, but I liked his series of tweets last night. And the New York Sack Exchange, if you want to watch it, it debuts this Friday. Chris Vernon up next.
Look at that. We got the whole Grizzlies team just infiltrated our studio. Santi Aldama's in the house. Look at everybody. The whole Grizzlies team. Look at Zach Edey's in the house. John Morant's in the house. Say hello. Say hello.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges. I gotta get them. And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Grizzlies are just having fun out there tonight. Morant around a screen, bumped by Wagner. No look to Smart, lays it up on the window and in, and it is all Grizz. The Grizzlies have the fans on their feet at FedEx Forum.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. It's Wednesday. It's the second segment. That means Chris Vernon's in studio. Chris Vernon's in studio. He's the host of Chris Vernon Show. Weekdays, noon, Grind City Media. Hey, Chris Vernon. So I was talking about the weird, awkward scene that went viral yesterday, this documentary that's debuting Friday, 30 for 30, the New York Sack Exchange, about Mark Gastineau and his 3 other linemen with the Jets in the early 80s. And there's this moment between Brett Favre and Mark Gastineau. I played it in the opening segment. I know you've seen. That was weird.
It's certainly awkward, but I mean, again, you're filming it for a documentary.
Sure.
So you want that to be awkward. Like they knew, I mean, he's mic'd up at that moment. And so here's the moment where he is going to confront Brett Favre. They knew. I mean, they got cameras there. The guy mic'd up.
Do you think Brett knew? I think Brett got walked into something. He didn't know.
Probably. He didn't know.
He didn't know what he was walking into.
He probably didn't know what he was walking into, that moment was going to take place. But, I mean, they're following along Mark Gastineau. They know they've scheduled him for this same thing that Brett Favre's going to be at. There's going to be the moment where – and so there's part of it where it's like, you know, anything – on it's almost like reality TV, right? Where it's a set up situation. And so would it have taken place that way if it was just some type of normal interaction where there's not cameras? And Mark Gastineau's a good actor. I mean, he knows what's going to be good for the camera. And what's going to be good for the camera is him telling Brett Favre, you hurt me. Yeah. You hurt me, Brett, because he knows he's doing a documentary. I mean, it's one of the things that we talk about a lot, where it's like, we get these. One of the things that is frustrating to me, and I think many people now, is when you watch all of these documentaries, is you get this insanely curated version of whatever the brand is of these guys. And so this is one of those moments on a different level, which is like, here is this perfectly curated, I'm upset, you hurt me moment. And I mean, while I do think it's authentic and I do think it bothers him, it's also for a documentary that this is done. And, you know, I don't blame him. Honestly. Like, I do remember when that happened, and I'll disagree with you guys on one sense. He 100% did that on purpose.
Okay.
Like,
I say I don't know. That's what I
remember when they're big buddies.
Okay.
They're big buddies.
Okay.
And the reason he rolled out he didn't just roll out that way and, oh, geez, there happens to be Michael Strahan. It's the most set up situation ever, right? Where he looks over and then he hikes up. I mean, there's no reason to even do that. Right. Come on.
I was
like, when do you see that? When do you see Michael Strahan
loose like that,
and no one gets in his way? This is a double-teamed player. This guy has the most sacks in the NFL.
And he's just standing there by himself.
He's not chipped. He's not nothing. Like, it was an orchestrated play. And I would be mad if I was Mark Gastineau, just in the sense of what you said last, which is it's 2 decades. That was his claim to fame, right? And I've always been super fascinated by the whole second place thing. And have you ever seen the movie Molly's Game?
Yeah.
Really great movie. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you remember, but the movie starts off, and one of the things it talks about when it starts off, and it's in relation to Molly, is they tell this story.
Just so we're clear, the poker-centric show. Got
it. With Jessica Chastain.
That's right.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Based on a true story.
They tell this story. Aaron Sorkin. He always has the same kind of movies, TV shows, etc. And sometimes they'll weave in like this historical stories as to make a point on whatever they're doing currently. And the movie starts off and he tells this story, like the narrator, or maybe it's her. She tells a story about Mac Robinson, right? And you've never heard
I don't remember this.
of Mac Robinson. Okay. Like, this has stuck with me to this day. And you've never heard of Mac Robinson. And Mac Robinson was a guy who was an amazing Olympic-level sprinter.
Okay.
And Mac Robinson lost by 0.4 of a second to Jesse Owens in the 1936 Olympics in Berlin, right? The Hitler Olympics. He said he lost. He said, and and Mac Robinson went on to become, like, you know, he like ran parks and stuff. I mean, he was
just a
you've
guy.
Never heard the name.
Right.
He's Jackie Robinson's older brother.
Wow.
And you've never heard the name. Never.
I don't remember that story.
He's second place.
And
so the whole point is, once you're second place, no one remembers you.
And you go to these memorabilia shows, so you know what this looks like.
There's an industry of being the sack king.
That's right.
There's an industry of being the home run king.
Yes.
There's an industry of being, Hank Aaron lived it for 40 years.
And if for the sake of this conversation, we're going to agree that Brett Favre gave that to him.
I know. It's weak. I'd be mad too. Because that is the thing he's known for, right? And Brett Favre tried to play it off like, hey, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
I know.
He's not.
He would be if he were the second.
The reason you know his name is because of what he accomplished.
Right.
This incredible accomplishment that no one had been able to beat. And it had been a long, long time.
Yeah.
A long time, right? And so, I don't know. I kind of get it. But I'm always fascinated by how we don't know. It was kind of interesting the other night. They made the only reason I know is because they made the biggest deal ever of Chris Paul becoming the second leader in an assist in NBA history. And that's because if you go look, you have literally a 0% chance of being first place.
Right.
Like, John Stockton is so far ahead that they celebrated second place. They even gave him this huge plaque of everyone he'd given an assist to over the year. It was really cool. Right. And he was getting real emotional about it. And it was like, he might be the only person I know who holds second place in something.
Okay, so to your point, longest hitting streak in Major League Baseball history.
Right. Joe DiMaggio.
How many games?
56.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody.
Who's second?
Molitor?
No. Paul Molitor's seventh.
He took a run at it when I was a little kid.
39 and 87.
Is it somebody from forever ago? Ichiro?
Not Ichiro. It is from ever ago.
Trish Speaker?
No. It's Willie Keeler.
Wee Willie Keeler.
40,
Go look him up. Wee Willie Keeler. This is what I know from reading baseball books and collecting cards as a kid.
Willie Keeler.
That was his nickname.
45 games for Bennett's Baltimore Orioles.
Look how little he was. Look him up. Wee Willie Keeler.
Let's look up Willie.
That's his name. Wee Willie.
Willie Keeler. Little Willie?
Yeah. No, Wee Willie.
Wee Willie.
That's his nickname. Wee Willie Keeler.
William Henry Keeler. I need to know how tall this fellow was.
Yeah, look him up.
Wee Willie Keeler. Yeah.
He's a little fella.
Yeah, dude. Wee Willie.
Wee Willie. So Wee Willie.
Yep.
Okay, you know him because you're a historian, apparently.
I just happen to know that name because.
But nobody.
That's right.
Every sports fan knows DiMaggio got 56 games in a row, and nobody knows Willie Keeler except for you. That's our point. That's our point.
I mean, I swear, it's so funny. When I was growing up, all I did was read sports books and Beckett baseball, price guide, and I watched all of these videos and VHS tapes and whatever, and so it's crazy. You say something like that, it's just I don't know. I wish I would have retained a lot of the stuff that you actually need to know in life, but it's worked out well with the job I have.
Still can't.
My wife is always I know nothing about there's that show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Right.
And my daughter is in fifth grade now, and I had to help her the other night, and the answer is no.
Oh.
Her homework was so hard.
Oh, we've reached the point with Oliver where
I was like, this is so embarrassing.
I look at it and I'm like,
this is so embarrassing.
I look at it and I'm like, yeah, you need to call Eden.
It's so embarrassing.
Yeah, you need to call your older brother and see.
I was like, why is it so hard?
It's I'm looking at it and I don't even know what to do. Like the math stuff, I don't even know where to start. It's just it's like a bunch of parentheses. And why do we learn that?
I don't know.
Why do we spend time learning parentheses
this is
and
one of the
multiplication?
Things, because look, this had become a thing. My mom is a lifelong educator, as is my wife, and so they are the ones that take care of the school stuff. I can't tell you how many times my mom has come over and helped. Which is hilarious. Almost like a tutor that we had. But I'm a bad example because I did what was required.
Me too.
Right? School was one of those things to me that I did not take full advantage of, and that it was a means to get to do what I wanted to be able to do.
That's right.
Right? And so I have many of the same opinions that you do and many do about what we learn in school, and that I find it to be rather useless. That being said, I had to take the tact of, because both, again, my mother and my wife, who I'm around all the time, both of them are valedictorians. Right. You know what I'm saying? They were amazing at school, and school was a big deal, and they took great pride in it, and I'm the other end, right? Where I never got less than a B average because but again, that's what my parents required of me. And so I did what was required to get by. I had to take the tact of this, that it is not the specific things that you learn, that's looking at it the wrong way. It is the ability to learn how to learn.
Sure.
Right? Learn how to take notes, learn how to memorize, learn how to understand a subject, retain a subject, and then be able to perform based on that subject. And that those things, and that part of being educated has a tremendous effect. Like the work ethic stuff, the ability to memorize stuff, the ability to retain information, all of that stuff. Whether or not the information is always going to be retained, training yourself and training your brain to be able to do that is extremely valuable, and so that's why you should care about school.
I'll accept that.
That's the only thing I can come up with.
No, I'll accept that.
It
does sound good. I think it's totally reasonable and
it's
probably
reasonable.
right.
Right.
I just, looking back on it, so much of what I learned in school is not applicable to my life in any way whatsoever.
But the stuff
I understand.
And so my argument would be, you get to do. Right? Like, so if my son looks at my job and goes, that's amazing, I'd love to get to do that one day. Well, you get to do that because of this, this, and this, right? And the reason that I can remember Wee Willie Keeler is because somewhere along the way, I had to remember something I didn't care about.
That's right.
And the reason I remember Wee Willie Keeler is that's in a subject that I did care about.
I do.
Right?
I guess just one of the things I remember in school when you would be 9 years old and complain about, why am I having to learn like long division, and why am I having to... One of the things a teacher would actually tell you back then was, well, you're not always going to have a calculator with you. Well, you're not always going to have...
That's right.
Well, we do always have calculators with us. We do have spell check with us.
Well, and you also used to have to go to... I mean, I wonder, do kids still go to, like, the library?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
to look stuff up. You wouldn't. We had to go to like an encyclopedia, right, to like look stuff up.
Can you imagine a kid digging through a card catalog?
Bro, I
don't think those exist anymore. I don't think they have those anymore.
I wondered. I have not asked him about that, but I saw like the other day, my son's phone was like laying out. I mean, that sounds crazy, and as compared to our childhood, my son's phone was laying out, and I saw ChatGPT on there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, why would you like? He really doesn't have to know anything.
No.
Does he?
No.
And certainly I've heard him ask Siri stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I do wonder, like a lot of that stuff. I mean, there's just so many things that are not applicable to kids nowadays that were applicable to us.
Yeah. I don't know. What do I care?
Yeah,
it's none of my business.
I just hope they do well.
I hope they're doing all right. Let's focus on basketball. NBA Cup quarterfinals, first two games last night. I was focused on a million other things. I had screens up.
Oh, I watched them.
But I wasn't paying that close of attention. What did I...
Suggs. My God. He damn near beat the Bucks by himself. He is awesome.
How did this happen? He comes out of college.
Yeah.
Supposed to be great.
Yeah, it's just different. It's different timelines for guys. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes... we want everything to be happening very, very quickly, but guys are on different timelines, right? Like, I mean, I think there was a lot of people, let's just take in consideration of what's going on with the Grizzlies. And it's like, you can look at, and I don't know what the ceiling will be for like a Santi Aldama or Jake LaRavia. I don't know if what would have happens if they're not in what amounts to contract years. But both of those guys have been great for the Grizzlies this year. And not as much on Aldama's case, but in LaRavia's case, he was certainly a question of he's probably going to be out of the rotation. He's probably going to be number 12 through 15, if you assume that everybody, right? Like, I mean, he was the odd man out with the Gigi and the Vince. Yeah. And if you've got Gigi and you've got Vince and you've got Kennard and you've got Smart and you've got Bane and you've got all these guys healthy, where is somebody like Jake LaRavia fitting in the wing rotation? Where is somebody like Jalen Wells fitting in the wing rotation? And so with somebody like LaRavia, you look and you go, his timeline was different, right? The guys, or maybe it wasn't, and we just wanted him to show us more in the first 90 games that he had played in the NBA, because he really, until this season, had not even played a full season's worth of NBA games. In Suggs' case, he had also had some injuries early in his career, but it did not come along like you wanted it to. And so I think it's just one of those stories of, and we see this happen literally every year, where a guy that sometimes people had given up on becoming whatever they were going to become, eventually, we've already decided what they are or what they're going to be in the future. The greatest example of this last year, especially because he was damn near All-NBA, or he might have made third-team All-NBA, was Markkanen. I mean, he was given up on by 2 different teams. I mean, we knew he was a bust, practically. The guy turns into All-NBA. I mean, his timeline was different. But Suggs had like 16 or 18 in the fourth. In the absence of their 2 best players, he tried to be that guy. Missed a 3 that Mike could have won it for him at the very end of the game. And then in the second game, I mean, it just gives everybody the opportunity to jump all over Oklahoma City's nuts again. I am so tired of them. I want to hate them. I hope we have a fist fight in our game against them.
Why do you hate them so much?
Because they are the swaggerless Grizzlies. They have stolen all of it. They've stolen the post-game celebrations. Right. They've stolen all of the good press. Now it's all SGA. Nobody cares about John Morant anymore. It's all SGA. It's, Jalen Williams is now, nobody talks about Desmond Bane anymore. It's Jalen Williams now. Oh, look at the savvy moves they've made in the offseason, and look at this and look at that, and it just annoys the hell out of me.
You're a little jelly. Somebody's a little jelly.
Like, everybody has forgotten that we were in a war in the second round against the Warriors. And John Morant got hurt. Everybody forgets that we were in a war against the Lakers.
No, they ain't
and our
shit.
guys got hurt.
Vince mad
at us. I hate them, dude.
It's so annoying. They played in one playoff series, and then they played in the second playoff series, and they got beat. And they got beat by P.J. Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. Get out of my face. Why are they everybody's darling?
Well, they were
so annoying.
Well, they were the 1 seed in the West.
Who cares? We were the 2 seed 2 years in a row. We knocked off Golden State on their home court the year before they won the title, and the year they did win the title, it took Morant getting hurt for them to have a chance to go win a title. The Grizzlies are infinitely more accomplished than the Oklahoma City Thunder.
You've had enough of them.
Tired of them. I hope we destroy them.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did go get 39 last night.
He's annoying.
This is interesting to me because I wake up this morning, everybody's
Dunk a ball.
I've never heard somebody call Shai Gilgeous-Alexander the best player in the world. Literally never. And now for the second straight year, people are trying to call him the MVP.
Oh, yeah.
Can you do those things? Can you 2 years in a row be called maybe
not the MVP? This year, not with the Jokic.
Not the Jokic is outrageous.
He's averaging 32, 14, and 10.
It's crazy.
32, 14, and 10.
Right.
I did a whole bit yesterday, and I did it on the mismatch. I went and looked up, just like, for instance, like, what is this dude's PER? It's the highest ever in the history of basketball.
When does he get in? When do people, because of the MVPs, because he's got to start going, this guy's going to be in the GOAT conversation someday?
I mean, soon enough.
Yeah.
Bro, he had 104 points in 2 games over the weekend.
In like 26 hours.
And he doesn't run or jump.
Can you imagine?
It's the craziest thing ever.
It's insane.
Yes.
It's insane. So you hate the Thunder, but they are first place. Can you at least acknowledge these things? They are first place in the West.
I don't care.
And they do seem to be a well-run organization. We could appreciate that. We have a well-run organization here. I can appreciate what they're doing over there.
Cool.
I don't have hate in my heart like you do.
I can't stand that.
I really can't either.
I hate them getting all this love, too.
I ain't never had one bit of controversy in the history of that stupid franchise. Yep. Just everything handed to him on a silver platter.
Okay, man.
No, I'm sick of it,
Yeah,
dude.
Nobody even cared when Josh Giddey was doing his bit last year.
Exactly.
Nobody even cared.
Well,
nobody even cared. He didn't even get, nothing even happened to him. There's literally a girl on TikTok saying, I just F Josh Giddey. She's like,
facts.
16.
It's tough.
Our guy waves a gun and he gets suspended for half the year. Crazy.
All right, I'll hate him too if you want me to. Please. I don't care. I'll hate him too.
Annoying.
I mean,
they annoy me.
Josh Giddey did get called a pedophile by every opposing fan base in America. That's worth something, I guess.
America's darling. The Oklahoma City Thunder. That's what they are.
Well, I know.
We're like the mean version. We're like the bad guys.
Hey, in all seriousness, then I'll get you out of here.
They don't want us flexing. They don't want us being number one.
But we are on our way to number one.
On our way.
I mean,
we don't even get cracking until December or January. It's a history of the Grizzlies.
Do you, in all seriousness, have you noticed is it there to be noticed that everybody else's opinion about the Grizzlies is starting to change a little bit?
Sure.
Okay.
Of course it is.
Okay.
Right?
You're mad about that too?
They still love Oklahoma. They still love Oklahoma City. Because I sit there and I go, where have you been?
Right.
Well, they're 2 years in a row.
But this is just the way the world works.
The only reason they were not good last year is
injuries
because
and
they were
suspension.
hurt.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. No.
Everybody forgot that they got awesome players.
We know that. We've said that.
Look at where they rank on all these best players lists.
But
it doesn't happen to other guys.
I guess where I don't get angry at the world for forgetting that this was about to happen as long as they're healthy, because this is the way sports work. It is a little bit out of sight, out of mind. We have to live it every day because we're here, but most people don't live it every day.
Really? Do you think that if Patrick Mahomes was out for the Chiefs, people wouldn't pick the Chiefs next year? Hell no.
People are hating on the Chiefs right now. They've lost one time. Everybody says they're lucky. People hate them now.
Nobody bets against them.
Nobody's
saying they ain't gonna win it.
Right? No, that's fair. That's
You know
fair.
what I mean?
Hey, we're back now. Can we just appreciate being back now? I feel like we're back.
Look, it ain't fun unless I'm mad at somebody.
He's mad.
Yeah.
He's like little Mark Gastineau over
Everybody
there.
loves Oklahoma City.
We haven't played them yet,
No.
right?
I know, right? I looked at it the other day. No, I haven't played.
Oh, that would be fun.
Hey, you can't hide forever, Oklahoma City. You can't hide forever.
No, I want there to be a fight, a hard foul.
Yeah.
I do too.
I want Caruso and smart wrestling. I want all of it. All of it.
You can't hide forever, Oklahoma City.
Yeah, coming up.
Oh, because they're the ones that now, you know what I mean? Like they're them in Houston. They're getting smoke with other teams. We ain't got no smoke with anybody, right? Like that's who the Warriors hate. You know what I mean? Are mad at now, right?
Right.
And the Warriors, and now Draymond's made ruffled feathers because he said earlier this year that Oklahoma City and all that, that post game barking and all that stuff, that's young man stuff. They ain't ready to win, right? They ain't ready to win.
We still have beef with Draymond.
Yeah.
He hates our coach.
That's right. He hates everybody. And he hates Rudy Gobert, too.
Is that like the biggest beef in the NBA?
I think it's Draymond Green and Traylor Jenkins is the biggest beef in the NBA right now.
It's close.
Which is great.
I mean, he did grab. We should blame him for Edey's injury. He did grab him by the ankle, and now Zach Edey he loosened up Edey's ankle.
The Oklahoma City Thunder cannot hide forever.
We play them on Sunday, December 29th in Oklahoma City.
Oh, well, I hope you enjoy Christmas because you ain't going to join everything that happens after Christmas.
Yeah, I know, right? That's actually a hell of a. I know
That's a good one,
Phoenix is the 31st. That's going to be a run of games. And what's right before that? Because 26th we play here. I know that.
Yeah,
and then what's
after
the
23rd and the 26th?
Is there a game before Oklahoma City?
It's
26 is a Thursday.
All right. Well, I've never been more excited to work the week after Christmas than I am right now.
We play Friday at Pelicans and then Sunday at Oklahoma City.
You can't hide forever.
Yeah. So the Friday is a back-to-back.
Yeah, Friday. Yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah,
Pelicans.
Toronto here on the 26th, then Friday at New Orleans.
Should be feeling good about ourselves going into the Oklahoma City game then.
Can't hide forever.
And you're going to fly from New Orleans to Oklahoma City, and there ain't nothing to do there, so you ain't got to worry about it.
That's good. That's the kind of cities I like.
That's the kind of cities I like, too.
And then you play them twice in March, and that's like when you're getting into like playoff seating and all that kind of shit. So that'll be good. That'll be good stuff.
Look at Bennett looking ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand them.
I
can't.
I just don't have that kind of hatred in my heart.
Everybody loves them so much.
See, but I don't want to be rivals with them.
Everybody
been
loves
there.
them.
Like I want to be rivals with someone else.
Bennett, who would you like to hate?
Well, it looks like Golden State's going to retool this thing, and they're not going anywhere. So I'm down to keep that thing going.
Okay.
You know?
I'm full of love. I just love my own stuff.
No,
I'm not going to hate.
No,
but I appreciate you guys hating.
We need the hate to come back to the NBA.
Yeah, that's
two funsies right now.
That's one of the things that's really missing.
The hatred.
It's two funsies right now. It is.
All right, I'm going to think about it. I got a little drive
You know
later
what?
on
And
today.
now
I'm
you
going to
think
think
about
about
that.
who I need to hate.
Draymond, I mean, like Draymond, he hit Nurkic, he choked Gobert. Like there is something virtually all the good teams.
No, yeah, no. That's why when it came out that he
in Minnesota, we named off, and then him and Torrey Eason got into it in the Houston game. They play tonight. Like there will be something that goes on tonight. You watch. Dylan Brooks is going to make them furious. Something's going to happen in that Houston Warriors game
Tonight's
tonight.
actually fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, tonight's a good one.
Trae Young back at the Garden.
Yes.
And then Warrior. Tonight's fun.
Yeah, Warriors Houston. Something will happen in that game.
All right, I'm fired up now.
Especially Dylan Brooks.
I'm ready to hate somebody
Dylan Brooks
myself.
in like a big game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dylan Brooks is going to do something.
You can't put Dylan Brooks on TNT in a cup quarterfinal and expect him not to do something.
Mark my words, Dylan Brooks will be a conversation piece.
I'm ready for it.
I've been here. I know this. I know what happened.
All right, I'm ready for it. That's Chris Vernon.
Right.
Chris Vernon Show. He'll be in the big studio in about, hour and 5 minutes. Hour and 5 minutes. When we come back, Big Bet Bennett.
What's up?
The SEC had a nice night last night in the Jimmy V Classic. Game 1, Tennessee by double digits. Game 2, Arkansas down by 15. Storms back to win. Fun game between Michigan and John Calipari's Razorbacks. John Calipari was in peak form post-game, both in his press conference and with Scott Van Pelt on SportsCenter. We'll talk college basketball next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Somebody who really has done what they were supposed to do, or maybe wasn't expected to do, is Jalen Wells, the Western Conference Rookie of the Month.
What you're seeing right now is him showing that, hey, no matter where I was going to go in the draft, I was going to be ready.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to GrizzBeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Get the squad together for this year's Junior Grizzlies 3-on-3 tournament, presented by 2K at the Built Ford Tough practice facility inside FedEx Forum. On Saturday, January 4th, teams will compete in 3 games before advancing to single elimination play. Overall winners from the 10 and under, 12 and under, and 14 and under divisions will win Grizzlies tickets, including exclusive access to the pregame team shoot-around before the Grizz take on the Pelicans January 24th. Sign up today at hoopitup.com/Grizzlies. Hoop on the Grizzlies home court at Junior Grizzlies Game Day Clinics, presented by Ortho South. Clinics are open to kids ages 6 to 14 and last 60 minutes. The next clinic tips off December 23rd, the same day the Grizzlies play the Clippers. All skill levels are welcome, from beginner to competitive athlete. Sign up now before spots sell out at grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies. Registration includes a Junior Grizzlies t-shirt and 2 tickets to the game that day.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either, and that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now, I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
It was the 30th annual Jimmy V Classic last night inside New York's Madison Square Garden. 2 SEC teams made up 50% of the field. It was Tennessee playing Miami in Game 1. Arkansas against Michigan in Game 2. Game 1, no problem for Bennett's Tennessee Vols. They're now 9-0. They've won by double digits every single game. In fact, won every game by at least 13 points. They don't have a big signature win yet, but they do have 4 wins over top 90 schools. Again, every win by at least 13 points. They've got a 0 in the loss column. As I was talking to Matt Norlander on the CBS Sports Eye on College Basketball podcast this morning, I'm not certain Tennessee is the best team in the country, but I do feel strongly that Tennessee deserves to be ranked number 1 in the AP poll right now. Which leads me to a question. I don't mean to catch you off guard. I'm kind of catching myself.
Catch me off guard.
Kind of catching myself off guard because I hadn't really thought about this much until I sort of stumbled into the idea this morning. But perhaps you can help me with other sports. I'm going to tell you what Rick Barnes is, and then you try to tell me something similar if you can think of something.
Oh, okay.
Rick Barnes was fired at Texas.
Uh-huh.
Not because he got caught committing rules violations, not because there was any sort of scandal, not because he was arrested for domestic violence or anything, not for any of the reasons coaches are sometimes fired, particularly successful ones. Texas just decided, we don't want you to coach our basketball program anymore. You haven't done anything wrong. We just don't want you anymore. We want somebody else. You haven't done anything wrong. We're going to give you all your money. We're going to wish you well. But we don't want you anymore. And now he has gone on to lead Tennessee to a number 1 ranking in the AP poll in 2 different seasons. First back in December 2019, then again this week. He's got a team that everybody considers a national championship contender. Can you think of other examples in any sport where a coach has been fired not because of anything other than we just don't want you to coach our thing anymore that we have, and they go on to do the types of things Rick Barnes is doing at Tennessee? In college basketball, I'm drawing blanks. In the NFL, I guess an example would be Bill Belichick. He was once fired, wasn't he?
Yes.
And then went on to do everything he did in New England. But it is pretty remarkable that Rick Barnes was given up on at Texas and has now turned Tennessee into one of the most consistent winners in college basketball.
Yeah, the only one that pops in my head, as far as you mentioned NFL, Andy Reid was fired in Philly, right?
There you go.
Yeah, and now he's he went to the Super Bowl there.
That's a good one.
And now he's a Super Bowl champ with the
I bet you it happens way more in pro sports than it happens in college.
Yeah.
And Belichick and Reid would be good examples.
Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers
he's won a championship, but he's been fired, and he keeps getting,
Yeah, but most of his good stuff, how good has he been
since Boston?
Yeah.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That actually doesn't check.
But Andy Reid's good. Belichick's good. It's just we don't have to brainstorm live on the air. It's just that I don't know that many people, and I'm certain Texas didn't think, that Rick Barnes could do this in his next job after Texas. It wasn't even that clear of a win that Tennessee hired him. I think if you go back and look at it, Tennessee is hiring Rick Barnes because that thing was all set up even before Rick got fired at Texas, I believe. Because if you go and look at Rick's exit press conference at Texas, or one of his final press conferences at Texas, he said something along the lines of, I'm going to coach again, probably pretty soon. He knew, or at least had a good idea, he was going to be the next coach at Tennessee. I don't remember people being like, this is a no-brainer, this is going to be perfect. It was like, he stopped recruiting, because that was the main thing. He didn't really stop winning. They were consistently good at Texas. Stopped in-state recruiting. He was getting killed by Texas A&M, by Baylor. Especially Baylor. In-state recruiting had become a problem at Texas under Rick Barnes, and I think he'd been there for a long time, and it wasn't that he was losing, but he wasn't taking them where they wanted to be. And in all those years, with all those great teams and all those great players, he'd only made one Final Four, and they just gave up on him. And I don't think many people thought, well, you're going to regret this. I think if you would have went back and asked me, and I'd say this is somebody who likes Rick, I probably would not have advised Tennessee to hire Rick Barnes in that moment. It wasn't obvious to me this was going to go well. What I think I thought in that moment, it was a long time ago, so I'd have to go back and look at tweets and columns and listen to podcasts.
Yeah, I got you.
But I think what I probably thought was, yeah, he's got a great Wikipedia page, but there's probably a reason Texas just decided to give up on him. So why are you interested in throwing him a, life preserver?
Mm-hmm.
I think I do remember saying this. If you stopped recruiting at Texas, how are you going to recruit at Tennessee? All right? And then you can go look it up. It didn't get off to a good start. And then he had that Grant Williams, Admiral Schofield team.
That's right.
And that it just popped almost out of nowhere. And they were suddenly good. And they've never not been good since then. They've been consistently good for 5+ years now. So they're doing it up in Knoxville. And the SEC is incredible. John Calipari gets a win last night over Michigan after being down 15. In the preseason, I thought the SEC would be the deepest conference in the country, and that the Big 12 would have the most legitimate national title contenders. Now, it's the SEC across the board. However you want to chop it up, that's the best men's basketball conference in the country. They've got more good teams. They've got more legitimate national championship contenders. They've got no bad teams.
Yeah.
They've taken their money. They spent it in the transfer portal, and it's the best league in the country.
Did you see Cal with Scott Van Pelt after the game? It's just
he can't help himself.
Oh, he cannot help himself. It's so funny, dude. It's so funny. Like the Cal isms, where he was like, "Oh, who was it? Was it Almont? No, it was Wagner, and he was like, "Yeah, he was hurting tonight, and he didn't want to. I begged him to play.
Well, the other thing, and it was kind of a little weird. Not weird, but because Scott is normal enough to play it off.
Yes,
but it's Arkansas, Michigan, and usually with Scott Van Pelt, they start it with the greatest thing I saw today, or whatever that little thing is they do, and it could be a high school home run or anything. But just in terms of programming, they mixed the show up last night for obvious television reasons. For instance, when I'm in studio and let's say we have a Big East game on, it's like in Marquette and UConn on CBS Sports Network or whatever it would be. When we go to halftime, we will typically then focus on Big East scores and Big East highlights because we have a Big East audience. You want to keep people where they're at. Who's watching us right now? This is the way people think in television. Who's watching us right now? How do we keep them? So if you notice on Thanksgiving, you might not have noticed that this happened, but this was a thing. There was an NFL game on CBS.
Yep.
And it was the Bears. The Bears were playing somebody.
The Lions.
Bears and Lions. Do you remember what came on after that? First time CBS has ever done this. College basketball game.
Okay.
Do you know who it was?
No.
Illinois.
It was Illinois, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was intentional.
Yeah. And that's funny you say that because even when watching that, I was like, it's kind of random.
But it was the opposite of random.
Yeah.
It was intentional. My bosses recognize
we got Chicago.
We have the Chicago Bears on.
Yeah.
Why don't we? This was the first time they've ever done it. I love stuff like this. It was just genuinely, my boss is just going, let's think about it. What can we do? How can we have college basketball inventory. Can we create this game? Call Cal. That's the way it works. Call Cal. Call Brad Underwood. If we have Bears fans, what's the overlap for Bears fans and Illinois fans? All right. So if we have a massive audience for Lions and Bears, how can we keep that? If we go straight to Matlock, we're probably not keeping it.
Yep.
How can we keep them? Why don't we throw another sporting event on? College basketball. Let's make it Illinois to keep the Bears fans. And who's the biggest deal in college basketball? Or at least one of them, John Calipari. Okay, let's get him then. And do you know that as of this minute, the most watched college basketball game of the season
was that one?
Yeah. And it's not because it was Illinois, Arkansas. It's because it followed Bears Lions with.
You got Illinois.
And you had Illinois.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I didn't know I was going to tell you that story. Here's the point. Usually, Scott Van Pelt starts his Sports Center and they go straight to doing whatever they're doing, right? Last night they skipped that and they go straight to Arkansas, Michigan highlights. Why? Who's watching us right now? College basketball fans, Arkansas fans, Michigan fans. Let's keep them here as long as we can. What's our A block? Highlight and John Calipari. Let's keep them here as long as we can. So that's what they do. SportsCenter starts. They go straight to Michigan, Arkansas highlights, and it's like, now we'll go back to the Garden, John Calipari. John's got the headset on. Mm-hmm. Did you see this part? Mm-hmm. He's just talking. He's like, yeah, I'm really proud of my team. Can't wait to be with them. I wish I was there right now, but I've been waiting on you for 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those things where he said it with a smile a little bit, so it's not, but it's one of those things you say to somebody when you're not trying to be mean, but you are expressing frustration. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the funny thing about it is Scott's clearly trying to let him go, and Cal just keeps talking. Like, he keeps talking. And then at the very end of it, he's like, okay, can I go now? And it's like, bro, you hijacked the segment. Like, you've been talking nonstop.
Scott handled it well.
Scott had 2 questions max in that whole thing.
John Calipari better be glad I don't host SportsCenter. Because if somebody did that to me,
so mad,
I would cut it off. And that person would never be on my SportsCenter again. That person would never be on my show again. Uh-huh. You're not going to come on my. I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah.
I'm putting you in front of the world right now. Uh-huh. As it pertains to what's happening right now, I'm doing more for you than you're doing for me.
Uh-huh.
All right, and that's not a normal dynamic in a John Calipari relationship.
No,
he is
right.
typically the more important person. But Scott Van Pelt can do SportsCenter without John Calipari. John Calipari can't get in front of that audience without Scott Van Pelt. Mm-hmm. So Scott was like, yeah, we'll have Cal. It'll be good. And then we bring you on and you act like you don't want to be here with me. Mm-hmm. Then go away, buddy, and you'll never come back.
No, and he also, you said he can't help himself. They all you guys said we weren't going to be good, or you all wrote us off every time. It doesn't matter if he has the number 1 team in the country. It's always, you guys all said we weren't going to be good.
Well, I don't even mind him popping off a little bit last night.
It's just his thing.
And also, he has been taking a little bit of a beating in the final years at Kentucky. Then he gets fired, and that's, and then Kentucky's brilliant without him. Kentucky's doing great without him. Arkansas had struggled relative to expectations. People with jobs like my job were starting to say, is this thing at Arkansas just going to be like the final years at Kentucky where you get a lot of interesting players but then we watch and you're not playing modern basketball. You're not playing efficient basketball. It looks like it doesn't go together. Is that just what this is going to be? So when you storm back in the Garden to beat Michigan and perhaps jump back into the AP poll next week, I don't mind him popping off a little bit.
Yeah.
But if I were Scott Van Pelt, buddy, that is the last time I will ever have you on this show. I had one moment like that with a coach once. Mm-hmm. You know who it was? Mm. I think this was before you were even producing my show.
Okay.
Lionel Highlands.
Oh, really? Yeah, it would have been before.
I had Lionel Highlands on one time.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to him the way I talk to people, just asking questions that I was interested in. We were just talking. Uh-huh. We were pre-taping it. So it was something we were doing in the afternoon.
Yeah, got it.
It was one of those days where I think I was pre-taping live from New York or something.
Yeah,
pre-taping from New York.
I
just know I was pre-taping the show, and this was after he was no longer the Grizzlies coach.
Okay.
I think he was doing studio work, NBA TV and whatever. And I bring him on. It's like, whatever the best things you can say about Lionel Highlands, I was saying them. And he, first and only coach to ever take the franchise to the Western Conference Finals, and I was, And the first question was something about the Grizzlies, and second question was something about the Grizzlies. And then I asked another question about the Grizzlies, and he almost interrupted me and said, I know more than just the Grizzlies. You can talk to me about something else. You know that, right? It was something like that. And I said, we were pre-taping, and I was like, well, yeah, of course, but, I just focus on the Grizzlies, but sure, let's talk about other stuff. And then I asked him about the Knicks or whatever. Uh-huh. We just start talking about other stuff. And it was like, all right, and that was Lionel Highlands, and when you can catch him on NBA TV, and then we, in the thing, and I said, Brad, cut all that, and we'll run a 6-minute interview with Lionel Highlands, and we will never have him again. Uh-huh. I'm not interested in talking to somebody who acts like they don't want to talk to me. I'm happy you're here, always. But if you can't put more of an effort into it, I don't need you, man. I can do this without you. And I don't think I've ever talked to Lionel Hollins since then.
Wow. Well, we got to reconcile.
No, there's nothing to reconcile. I don't mean it like that. I hope the guy doesn't come across that way. I'm just, I have nothing but admiration for the job he did for this franchise.
Oh, me too.
I mean that sincerely.
We can all acknowledge.
There's nothing.
We can all acknowledge he's grumpy.
There's nothing between me and Lionel Hollins. No. I was just like, if you're going to be that way, as somebody who goes on radio shows all the time, I get asked questions all the time. I'd like, all right, whatever. Yeah. I was trying to talk to a former Grizzlies coach about the Grizzlies, and he got like irritated. And I was just like, all right, well, that's it. We don't have to do this. I don't like if you can't put on a smile and just chit chat with me, I'm not that interested in talking to you. So that's what it reminded me of when I saw Scott and John have that little moment last night. But congratulations to the Razorbacks. That's what I think I was trying to say. And congratulations to the Vols. Baby. Woo Pig and go Big Orange and whatever else.
No, that's enough.
Whatever else.
Number 2.
So while that was happening in the Garden, Rutgers and Penn State were playing a Big Ten basketball game just across the river in New Jersey. Final score, Rutgers 80, Penn State 76. And if you're wondering why we're talking about this, it's because you never know. At least 2 Rutgers players, one of them could be a member of the Grizzlies someday. At the very least, both of them are going to be playing against the Grizzlies someday. It's Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, the 2 5-star freshmen who enrolled at Rutgers. This is something that would never happen pre-NIL. We talked about this yesterday with A.J. DeBanza. You're seeing this a lot in college basketball now. In pre-NIL, A.J. DeBanza, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, for the most part, they were going to the Dukes and the Kentuckys and the North Carolinas and the Kansas. Every once in a while, you get a Ben Simmons at LSU or an Anthony Edwards at Georgia. But for the most part, these types of players weren't going to these types of schools.
I love it.
But now you get A.J. DeBanza because of money going to BYU, and you got Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper. They could go 1 and 2 in the draft.
Yep.
Most people have them 2 and 3 in some order behind Cooper Flagg. But we are living in a world right now where the top 2 picks in an NBA draft could really come from Rutgers. I don't think they will, because I don't think Cooper Flagg will drop to 3. But could Rutgers have 2 of the top 3 picks in the next draft? Yes, they could. And they were both statistical monsters again last night. Dylan Harper, in a time where some people will argue freshmen are less valuable than ever, Dylan Harper got 24 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists last night. Ace Bailey got 15 points and 15 rebounds. My favorite thing about Ace Bailey, and if you haven't seen him yet, go to YouTube, look at you'll think you're watching Kevin Durant. I'm not saying he's going to be Kevin Durant. I'm just saying when you look at him, that's what it looks like. He bounces it like Kevin Durant. He spins like Kevin Durant. He shot creates like Kevin Durant. He's a jumbo wing who's comfortable on the perimeter. He will not pass the ball. He's taking 15 shots a game. He's averaging 0.6 assists. He will not pass the ball, except to maybe Dylan Harper.
Okay.
So Rutgers now is 6-4. If they'd have lost last night, it would have been a 4-game losing streak. And you start to go, people start writing columns like, and this is why you can't try to build your team around freshmen anymore. This doesn't work. It worked once at Kentucky. It worked once at Duke. It doesn't work in this era. If Rutgers is not good this year, Rutgers is going to play a role in shaping that narrative. So they needed that win last night. They got it done. 80-76 over Penn State. Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey continue to star. Right now, those 2 freshmen, they're both great. Harper's averaging 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4.6 assists. Ace Bailey, 17.5 points, 7 rebounds, 0.6 assists. He ain't going to pass it too much, but, buddy, he can score it.
That's kind of... Why are they playing a league game so early?
Because the leagues are so big and they have so many, they have to fit them in somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
You're starting to see that now. The Big Ten is all you got conference. We get conference games earlier than we used to.
Yeah.
Because there's so many.
Got
to play.
That makes sense.
Got to play.
That makes sense.
Got to get them in the calendar somewhere. Last night was a good night. Congrats to Rutgers. Keep an eye on those freshmen.
Number 3.
Fandango.
I love that name.
Fandango. They published a survey.
Yeah.
They asked theater goers, thousands.
Yes.
What films are you most looking forward to in the year 2025? It's right around the corner, Bennett.
That's right. Yeah, we're getting these end of the year, looking into next year kind of list. I love a good list.
I like lists.
We're in list season.
Bennett, I create a list every morning.
Yeah, lists are great.
Okay? You don't have to tell me about lists. I'm a list creator every morning.
Yep.
Okay. I like a list myself. when you sent me this morning, this is the most Bennett Doyle 5 more things we could find. I stopped myself before I opened it, and I said, what movies am I looking forward to in 2025?
Okay.
And I couldn't think of anything.
You couldn't think of one movie, could you?
I'm not looking forward to anything.
Is it because you just don't know what's coming out?
I don't have any idea about anything.
Yeah,
I don't know nothing. I don't know what's good. I don't know what's coming. I don't know nothing about nothing. Help me.
Before I get into this, what would you say is the best movie you saw this year?
I don't watch a lot of movies anymore. I watch shows all the time.
Yeah.
I'm constantly there's a show. There is never a moment in my life where there isn't a show that I'm watching that I have an episode I could watch next. And so for me to sit down with a movie, I feel like I'm cheating on my television shows. I feel like, I'm having fun with this movie, but should I really be here? Is this where I need to be? Is this the bed I need to be in right now? I have these thoughts with myself. It's an internal battle.
Yes. See, this is where me and you differ big time. Give me a
plus beards.
Yeah, that's right. Give me a good movie over a good TV show, all day, every day. I want a good movie over a good TV show.
I'm trying to go more that direction. I'm trying to every once in a while, just like when I'm up at night, nobody else is, and I go, all right, I could do a million things right now. Why don't I just invest in a good 2-hour, 20-minute movie?
Man.
And if I only knock out 40 minutes, then I can accomplish something. I've got 9 episodes of a show to watch. I can't accomplish that tonight, but maybe I can accomplish a movie. I'd like to accomplish things.
And it's become like I've always been a huge movie guy, but it's become like my therapy because I'm so addicted to my phone that I force myself to just put it down when I'm watching a movie and just disconnect. And I love that. Okay. So we got the top 10 most anticipated movies of 2025. You want me to just read you the list?
Sure.
And then we'll dissect it. Okay. Coming in at number 10, this one's getting a lot of buzz lately. 28.
Best movie I saw in 2024.
Yeah, what?
I really think this is the answer.
Okay.
Inside Out 2.
Oh, really? I have not watched it yet.
It's great.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's great.
And I need to because we got a surprise thing coming up that I need to watch that before we go do that.
I'm not saying it's the best movie of 2024. Just of the movies I put my eyes on in 2024, I think I enjoyed that the most. It was sweet and good. Really good.
I loved the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, I like that. Okay, so coming in at number 10, 28 years later. This is the third installment in the 28 Days Later trilogy.
Never seen any of them.
Okay, this... Did you ever get into I'm sure you watched Walking Dead for a little bit before it got stupid.
My oldest son watched it.
Yeah.
In an attempt to have something to bond with him over. I started watching it. But I did reach a point where I said, this is too stupid for me.
This has gotten outrageous. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, anyways, this is it's a zombie movie. Danny Boyle, who did Train Spotting and Slumdog Millionaire. And it's been a long time since he's made one. I believe the last one came out in 2011 or something like that. And the cool thing about this, and this is one of the reasons I wanted to bring up this list, is this movie, you cannot find it. The first two, 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later. You can't find it on streaming.
Let me guess. But you have physical copies.
Yes, I do. And you want to know something? If you want to go buy one, you can't because they're $1 million right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's right.
You could pay off your house with a 28 Days Later
Physical media
DVD.
forever, baby.
Look at Bennett.
You thought you were getting rid of us. Look at us now.
Look at us now.
We're richer than anybody.
Okay, Bennett.
So anyways, and they'll put it on streaming very soon because it's in high demand. So that's number 10. Number 9, Fantastic Four First Steps. It's the Fantastic Four reboot that the MCU's doing. I'm sorry. I'm going out of order.
I'm going to tell you, I'm only going to speak up when you say something that matters to me.
Okay, so 28 years later, you're a no. I would watch the first two. I think you dig them. I think they're maybe up there as the best zombie movies ever.
Best zombie movies ever?
Yeah.
That's a category I don't really care about.
But you invested in Walking Dead for so long.
Only out of love for my child.
Okay.
And even then, I didn't love him enough to keep watching it.
Okay, whatever. Number 9, Superman. This is the new Superman reboot from the DC universe, DC extended universe that James Gunn took over. So there's that, which I'm never been a huge Superman guy. I'll give it a go though. I'm excited. I love James Gunn. He's great. Did Guardians of the Galaxy.
I gave up after they stopped letting Christopher Reeve walk.
Fair enough. There's a new Christopher Reeve documentary out on HBO that just came out this week. It's supposed to be really good. Number 8, The Accountant 2. This was the most surprising one on the list. I never saw The Accountant with Ben Affleck. Did you see that movie?
I don't remember it if I did.
Why is that the most anticipated? I don't think anyone saw that movie.
I don't know.
I'm very confused by that one. Okay, number 7, Wicked Part 2. Of course, Wicked's like the biggest
Still
movie.
haven't seen Wicked.
Wicked was great.
Everybody says
Wicked was great. Way better than I would have thought.
I don't love Ariana Grande.
Like, I went into that movie thinking, okay.
I don't love Ariana Grande.
She's great, though.
She is great.
She's great.
I don't understand anything.
I was very skeptical, too.
You know, when she sings, I don't understand what she says.
You will in Wicked.
I don't understand how Ariana Grande became so big. I have never heard her and been like, she's amazing. Like, obviously, she's beautiful and she can sing, but I don't understand what she's saying when she sings. Am I the only one? I hear her singing. I'm like, what is she even singing? I don't. She's just making sweet noises.
It sounds good.
She's good on Saturday Night Live when I see her, though.
Dude, I'm telling you, my opinion on her has changed completely since seeing Wicked. It really has. Like, I thought she was great. And I was super skeptical. I was like, she's not. I just don't think she's going to be able to carry a movie like this.
I don't know why I don't like Ariana Grande. I should like her. She's beautiful.
Go see Wicked. See Wicked.
I usually like beautiful people.
Yeah.
Some say they got too. They say she got too skinny.
Well,
I feel like that's not my place to say.
That's not our place.
I feel like that's not my place to say.
That's not our place.
But people are saying that, and then somebody would ask me, "What do you think?" And I would say, it's not my place to say.
Yeah, that's not our place to say.
Do I look like a body shamer?
No, absolutely not.
Not a body shamer. I don't know why I don't like Ariana Grande. I'm going to try a little harder. Because I do like her when she's on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
She's like actually good at impersonations and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, no, she's pretty funny. Yeah.
She's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I take back what I think I want to like Ariana Grande.
She's also, this time of year, I think that her, Santa Tell Me. You've heard that song, Santa Tell Me? But I feel like that song wasn't as big as it is now. I feel like it's gained. It's like, what were we talking about when we were talking about NBA? When we were talking about Jalen Suggs? Like, it's like Jalen Suggs.
That song is the Jalen Suggs of songs.
Of Christmas songs.
Okay, maybe.
It used to, nobody cared about it. Now it's like a Christmas classic. Okay,
I'm going to start liking her. I'm going to change my opinion on Ariana
Wicked.
Grande. I think that might do it.
Okay, and number 6, most anticipated, Avatar: Fire and Ash.
I don't care about the avatars.
Yeah, but you gotta respect a legendary filmmaker in James Cameron trying to make original movies.
I do appreciate him putting so much time into making something I can fall asleep in. Congratulations. Look forward to sleeping.
Have you ever seen the Avatar movies?
I've seen the first one and didn't want to see the second one. Had no interest whatsoever. The first one
was good. Second one was good.
I think I appreciated the first one for what it was, and then was like, but I was bored the whole time. But there was an Avatar ride at one of the theme parks somewhere.
Yeah, Disney World.
Have you done that?
Hell yeah, I've done it.
It's great.
It's insane.
It's insane.
You can feel that stupid little bird thing like breathing on you.
Yes,
it's crazy.
There's a bird breathing on me.
Yeah, dude.
I like the Avatar ride.
The Avatar ride rocks.
I wish instead of doing Avatar 3, I wish they'd do Avatar Ride 3.
Okay, so you're not so far or 0 for 5.
Yeah, I don't care about any of this.
Okay, number 5, Fantastic Four: First Steps. This is the MCU reboot of the Fantastic Four. They've gotten this franchise wrong a lot over the years. A lot of misses. So we'll see if this one's good. Number 4, from the world of John Wick, Ballerina.
Never seen a John Wick.
I've only seen the first 2. And they were good. I need to go through the whole thing before I get fired up for this one.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3, Jurassic World: Rebirth, starring Scarlett Johansson.
I like Scarlett Johansson.
I think this is pretty interesting. The last Jurassic World movie was not very good.
Yeah.
That was when they brought back everybody.
I've seen all the early ones.
The last one
we went through a phase,
good.
I think it was with Oliver, where we would just like jump on YouTube and watch Jurassic Park scenes. We wouldn't even watch the whole movie anymore. We just watched all the dinosaur scenes, and we enjoyed that.
I love the franchise.
Okay.
God, and that first one still holds up. It's still amazing. Like, you can watch that, and it's just as good as if it would have came out this year.
Okay.
It's so good. The last one wasn't great, but I think this one's kind of interesting because Scarlett Johansson, who's a big actress, she actually asked to be in this movie. This wasn't yes, she's a huge Jurassic Park fan and got in touch with whoever was making the film and said, I'd love to be a part of your movie.
Okay.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, yeah, when Scarlett Johansson calls you, I think you got to answer.
I think you got to take that
if
call.
If she called me and said she'd like to be a part of the show, I'd make that happen.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
I don't think do we really think it's the final reckoning? Is this it?
Dude, he's in his 60s, for God's sake.
At some point, you got to stop. Yeah, at some point.
I mean, he's like broken a million bones filming these movies. Like, you can't do this. He's going to die filming a Mission Impossible movie. I think he's got to stop after this.
I don't think I've seen any of them.
You've seen the first Mission Impossible.
I don't know that.
So I haven't gotten all the way through, but I've rewatched most of them. I think I've got to watch like the last one that came out. And it's fun. They're fun. I prefer the Bourne. If I'm looking for like spy, thriller, espionage.
Don't think I've ever seen any of those
give me
either.
The Bourne trilogy.
I don't watch movies the way I used to.
I know, you're really slacking. Okay, so far.
You're disappointed in me, aren't you?
Because you're not excited about any of these.
I can see your disgust on your face.
Okay, number 1. This is not my most anticipated. Number 1 is Captain America: Brave New World.
I don't care.
Can you tell me who Captain America is?
Yeah, Chris.
Not anymore. He's dead.
Chris died?
He died. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's gone.
Who is Captain America?
It's Anthony Mackie.
Timothy Chalamet.
No, he's not big enough. You got to be like, come on. You got to be a little beefy to be Captain America, dude.
Probably fair.
Although, in fairness, Captain America became Captain America because he was a scrawny dude that they injected with serum and turned him into.
Okay.
Anyways,
don't
whatever.
nerd out on me.
Okay.
Bennett.
All right. So, anyways, one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up because I've talked about this before on the show. What do you notice about this list of movies?
They're all sequels.
Every one of them. Yeah. They're all sequels or spin-offs.
Well, how could you anticipate something that you don't know nothing about?
I just think that it's a problem.
Do you think it's a problem?
I think it's a problem. I think we're running out of original ideas and we're just rehashing. Give me the directors.
Smart. Like I've seen a bunch of smart people talk about this. This isn't coincidental. If you're going to try to get a $200 million movie made these days, they want to know that they don't want to roll dice.
I get my money back.
They want to know I can get my money back. Yep. So what is most films, most major motion pictures these days, I don't want to say most because I'm not, most is 51% if we're doing whole numbers. It might not be 51%. A good portion of films, major motion picture being made these days are going to be either a sequel to something that has already worked or it's going to be something where you've got like a Barbie doll. It's got to be something like that. You can't just, hey, here's a new movie with brand new characters and nothing you've ever heard of. Here it is. I mean, we still get those, obviously.
Yep.
But we get a lot of this kind of stuff too, and it's by design. They know that these won't be money losers.
Yeah, no, they'll all make a lot of. Although the accountant too, I'm not so sure, but all the other ones are going to make a lot of money. Yes.
I don't look forward to any of them. I'll probably consume some of them. I do look forward to television shows, though.
Yeah.
So if this were Fandango's list,
I'll find the list.
Find us a list of television shows.
Most anticipated 2025. I got you.
And let's do that tomorrow.
I got you, bro.
And then I'll be able to show a little more excitement because I am actually excited about television shows coming in 2025. I'll be more excited tomorrow if you come with a list.
I got you.
Bring me a list.
All right.
Number 4.
Oh, it's been a good. It's been a good week in Major League Baseball.
For you.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Whenever I say things like it's been a good week or a bad week, I'm always just talking about me. Not concerned with much else.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's not true. It's been a good week for me, from a baseball perspective at least. First, Juan Soto joined the NL East. He's a member of the New York Mets now. $765 million. And then the Yankees, they got all that money left over. They don't know what to do with it. You know what they did with it? They gave it to Max Fried. So he's no longer in the NL East. And I know some Mets fans, particularly New York-based Mets fans, would be like, yeah, but I don't like him going to the Yankees. I don't care about the Yankees. I am not a Mets fan who hates the Yankees because I don't live in that like that. I didn't grow up surrounded by Yankees fans calling me a nerd, right? I don't hate the Yankees. So I don't care that the Yankees got better by adding Max Fried. I just enjoy that the Braves might have gotten worse by losing him. Good day.
Yeah, Yankees fans don't seem that fired up about this.
Well, they're still reeling because they got beaten by their crosstown rivals. The franchise that they like to consider their little brother.
Yeah.
Just went out and took
This is just a
generational talent from them.
We missed out. We got to do something.
This is. Hey, we were going to give $760 million to Juan Soto. He didn't want it, so let's give 218 of that to Max Fried. 8 years, $218 million contract. So they got Garrett Cole. They got Max Fried.
No, that pitching staff's looking pretty good. Yeah.
But they don't have a Juan Soto.
No, they do not.
They don't have a Juan Soto.
Sorry.
So too bad for you, but congrats on your Max Fried, and I'm glad that he's out of Atlanta. I never had to see that guy again. It's fine with me.
Number 5.
There's a push online. People are trying to draw Kim Kardashian into the prosecution of Luigi Mangione.
Yeah.
You know Kim's in law school.
I did know that.
You know Kim has a history of getting people pardoned. A local resident, by the way.
Yes, I did know that.
A local woman.
She was in town.
Kim came here.
Do you know I DM'd her and asked her to come on the show? I swear to God, I did when that happened. I was like, hey, it's worth a shot. I DM'd Kim Kardashian.
To ask her if she wanted to come on 92.9 FM ESPN.
To come on the Gary Parrish show. Yes, I did.
What if she'd have come in studio?
I said we're big fans.
we are.
Yeah.
You weren't lying.
Yeah.
We are big fans.
I mean, dude, I didn't get a response. I did not get a response, no.
I've had no interactions with Kim Kardashian other than one time Lamar Odom was popping off about the Kardashians.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I was probably drinking. But I just sort of quote tweeted it and was like, do I got this wrong? But best I can tell, his whole family has done everything they could to try to help this guy.
I remember that.
Khloe Kardashian stayed married to him longer than she probably should have so that he could stay on the health insurance so that that family did a lot for this guy. I don't remember exactly the point I made, but it was something like Lamar Odom needs to be a little more appreciative of how much his family's tried to do for him. And, it gets retweeted, and you know who liked it? Kim Kardashian.
How about that? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
But you know what she did?
Unliked it.
It was a like and an unlike.
Yeah.
So I saw it. And I even got it. I can show it to you. I got it.
Yeah.
But I don't think she wanted it out. But she wanted, I don't know what she wanted. I can't get into the mind of a Kim Kardashian, but she hit the like button.
Interesting.
Accidental or otherwise.
Interesting.
She hit the like button.
That's pretty good.
So she got this woman out of prison. She went to the White House. She met with former President and future President Trump. And she said, hey, there's this woman. You got to let her out of jail. And Trump can't say no to Kim Kardashian.
No.
How could you? So
and what was it? It was like was it a weed charge?
Drug charges.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was something very minor that she got a huge sentence for. Yeah.
Yeah.
That today you would never get a sentence like that, right?
Yeah. And so President Trump was like, "All right, Kim. I mean, how could I say no to you? You're standing right in front of me, and pardon." So now people have turned Kim back on. They say, "Hey, we got a job for you, Kim K.
Yeah.
You got to go get Luigi.
And
then put him in a Skims campaign." Do you think Kim Kardashian should take up the cause of trying to free Luigi Mangione?
I mean, it seems to me, just from the little that I know, that Kim Kardashian focuses more on people that were wrongfully, sentenced for something that they didn't do,
as opposed to people who are on video shooting a man in the back.
And have like a manifesto admitting to it and all that kind. I think that this is a little bit of a different situation. Yeah, I don't know where she stands on the situation. Like, who, how does she feel about how this all went down, and who does she side with? But it's not really what she does.
I don't think this is.
No,
I don't think. In life, people always tell you pick your spots.
Yeah,
I wouldn't pick this spot if I were her. But he would make a good Skims model. Can we agree on that at least?
Well. The thing is you're referencing the pic. See, this is where this all changed for him, because you're referencing the picture of him before he had the back injury.
Oh, we saw him yesterday.
He
wasn't so happy yesterday.
And he looks like smaller and frail, like, because I don't like, I mean, I'm not speaking out of turn. I don't think he can like exercise anymore. Like
and he still looks pretty good.
Yeah, he looks better than me. You don't
Looks
get it
better
twisted.
than you.
But I saw the picture before,
Yeah.
before picture that everybody's posting.
Every picture we had seen before yesterday of this fella,
Yeah.
he had a nice smile on, and he was.
That's right.
I think we saw the other side of him yesterday.
We did. And when he was yelling when he was getting pulled in. No, he's and I saw the interview with his former roommate who said that he definitely changed, that something happened to him after his back injury, he said. So that's interesting. Yeah.
He was it appears that the way we talked about this yesterday, even as we talked about it with a lot of caveats, and I think we had it right. He's been radicalized by the internet.
No question.
Life was going the way it was going.
Yep.
And this is actually terrifying. His life was going great. Valedictorian of a prestigious high school, Ivy League, multiple degrees. And then he endured some adversity, ends up isolating himself for whatever reasons from all of his friends, from all of his family, gets radicalized by the internet, and now he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail. Isn't that scary that it's unimaginable to me that could happen to me or to you. But it does happen to people. Life is fine, and then it's not. And whoa.
No, I mean, if I isolated myself like this guy did apparently and cut himself off from everybody and just spent all my time on social media, online, not having like real face-to-face human interactions, I could see how I would change as a person. I don't think I'd go kill anybody. But you can see how this, like everything that has happened in this story, I can totally imagine all of it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I think the internet is
dangerous.
Yes, yes, I think it's actually dangerous.
Because anything you want to believe, it's there for you.
You can find something to support it.
Yep.
And I do think being isolated. There are people. You and I think a lot of people are on the internet a lot. But I don't live on the internet. I look at it a lot, but I don't. My friendships are not online.
Same.
My friend groups are not on Facebook. I'm not on message boards. I look at this stuff, but I don't live in it.
Yeah, I spend more time on the internet than I do with my friends, but that's not my friends. Right?
I spend time with people I
care
care about. I don't spend time chit-chatting with people online.
Yeah.
I used to do it.
Besides the chat, those are my friends.
More than you can keep them. More than I used to do it more than I do now. But at some point, I think probably post-COVID, if I'm being honest, I just decided I'm not going to spend a minute arguing with anybody on the internet about anything. I don't care enough. Not that I don't have things that I care about and believe, but it's a waste of time. Plus, I have multiple jobs and multiple kids and real friends and real life and things I enjoy doing, and I don't need this. I need this to do my job, but when it's over, I don't need this. But there are people who live in here. Their friends are in here. Everybody they know is in here. The only people they communicate are in here. And I think that's a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
And that appears to be what happened to this young man. Do you see what happened to the McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania?
What happened?
It's getting overwhelmed with negative reviews because they snitched on the guy.
Yeah, they snitched. I saw someone in the chat. Chris said, because I'm sure you've seen the tweet of Burger King saying we don't snitch. I'm not sure that's real. I think I think it was fake, but it made for a funny funny post.
Anyway, I think Kim K needs to pick her spots. I hope that she does get involved in cases that need her and deserve her someday, but I don't know that she needs to take up the case of Luigi.
No.
I think maybe just leave Luigi.
Yeah.
Just leave him right where he's at.
Stay out of that one, Kim.
Sounds like this is where he wanted to be. He knew seems like he knew what he was doing. Seems like he was prepared for this moment. I think we let him handle it.
Yeah.
He would make a nice Skims model, though. I think we can all agree on that.
Sure.
Sure. Be back with GP's Carryout.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
I want to throw a party just so I can be in control of the aux cord, just so I can force everybody to listen to the Wicked soundtrack. Both of these actresses in Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, I thought it showed how they have experience performing live and on screen, both of them.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies are just having fun out there tonight. Morant around a screen, bumped by Wagner. No look to Smart, lays it up on the window and in, and it is all Grizz. The Grizzlies have the fans on their feet at FedEx Forum.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Southland Casino Hotel is helping you navigate to Santa. Win your share of up to $340,000 in free play or a 2024 Lincoln Navigator. Here Comes Santa kicks off November 24th. Get one free entry and earn additional entries for weekly Saturday drawings. Don't forget the grand finale drawing on Saturday, December 21st to win up to $5,000 in free play or a 2024 Lincoln Navigator. Win big during Here Comes Santa, only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quoting, call 800-522-4700.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Oh, buddy, we've been talking a lot. Let's wrap this up real quick with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
Whole bunch of stuff, but in the opening segment, we did focus on that Mark Gastineau, Brett Favre viral clip that was published yesterday by ESPN to help promote the 30 for 30 that debuts on Friday, New York Sack Exchange. Bennett, is that the type of thing that will make you watch that documentary, or it's just the type of thing that will make you go, well, that was an interesting little moment, but I don't care about your documentary?
The latter.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't think I care about the documentary.
Because is that going to be the biggest moment in the documentary?
Probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what else is coming out of it?
Yeah, probably. I
do like the 30 for 30s, though.
They are. It's been a minute since.
It's been a minute since I've seen one.
Yeah, I think so too.
When was the last big one?
Bennett?
When was the last big 30 for 30 that we all consumed?
List of 30. Bennett?
Like post The Last Dance. I know that wasn't a 30 for 30, but like since The Last Dance aired, which everybody watched, what was the last like 30 for 30 style thing we watched?
I'm looking through a list right now. I don't know. But here's what I remember about 30 for 30s in the heyday of it. It almost didn't matter what the subject matter was. They were good.
Yeah.
It was like, if you ever said, yeah, but I don't care about horse racing, it'd be like, yeah, but you'll like this.
You'll like this.
I don't care about soccer. I got you, but you'll enjoy this.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps I should apply that and just watch it because it's a 30 for 30 and it'll probably be good.
I think so.
I don't think I'm going to, though.
I got other stuff to catch up on.
I got other stuff to do.
Yeah.
But I hope Mark Gastineau finds peace.
I do too.
Within. And I thought Brett Favre handled the whole thing as well as you could handle it, both in that moment and also last night on Twitter.
What's today's biggest game?
Okay, Bennett, let's go NBA. Let's go NBA Cup.
Okay.
Let's go NBA Cup.
Okay.
Quarterfinals tonight. 2 more games. Winners advance into Las Vegas. The losers are eliminated from the bracket. Take it to the nightcap, 8:30 TNT. Dynamite TNT. Warriors Rockets. Toyota Center down in Houston. Rockets are 1.5-point favorites. Total's 221.5. Bennett, how are you going to act?
Give me the Warriors.
Hey, I want to congratulate you.
What about my Razorbacks?
No, not specifically that. But you're doing better.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, your record is up to 174, 170, and 4. You're 4 games above 500.
Let's go.
You're now only down 14.4 units.
Let's get it.
Now,
2025 looking promising.
I want to make sure everybody understands, if you don't follow how this stuff works, negative 14.4 is not good. But it's better than where he's been living for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if this were one of those, sometimes, particularly like a presidential election, you'll look at polling and it'll be like, and it was this and this and this and this, and now it's here and whatever and all that stuff. I think if we had one of those that represented you, this would be the first time you've been to this place, negative 14.4. It's been a while since you've been at a place this good. That's what I'm trying to sell you.
Give me the Warriors.
Bennett said take the Warriors as underdogs tonight.
Dude. Say no regular season game. This is the cup, baby. Championship mentality.
Bennett said it's a cup. You're playing for a championship. It's important to have championship mentality. Bennett says take the Warriors plus the 1.5.
What are we watching on TV?
Can I interest you in Parrish and Nicole, the encore?
Oh, they're back.
They're back.
I saw them on the Today Show chit-chatting.
Yeah, they're back. They, you know what?
God, I'm old. Watching the Today Show.
Or Parrish and Nicole.
That's true. That's true, too. Yeah.
Hey, they both look like they're doing okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they look
good. They both, that's what I was trying to say in the most polite way possible.
No, they look great.
In the most polite, least sexist way possible. What I was trying to say is they both look like they still go to the gym and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
So good for them. Did you ever watch Parrish and Nicole? Did you get caught up in the phenomenon once upon a time?
Not like religiously, but I saw episodes, sure. Yeah, I think everyone did.
I think he was just aware of. They
stumbled on that thing.
They were cultural phenomenons at a time.
They definitely
were a big deal once upon a time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they
Paris
definitely
Hilton and Nicole Richie. And now they're gone. Now they're in relationships and they have children. They're moms and mothers.
Yeah, they are.
All right, good for them.
Yeah, okay.
Good for them. Paris and Nicole, the reason I bring this up,
what's going on?
It's coming back. They're bringing it back. It's all new. They're bringing it back. It's the encore, and it debuts tonight, late tonight, 11 Central, midnight Eastern. But as soon as that calendar turns to December 12th on the East Coast, I believe, you're going to be able to watch it on Peacock.
Okay.
It's on Peacock, Paris and Nicole, the encore.
What's the best thing we've read?
The All-America teams have been published over at CBSSports.com. It's the 2024 CBS Sports All-America football team. Guess how many players there are from the AAC, Bennett?
0.
1.
Okay.
Fellow from Tulane, a kick returner. That's it, though. That's it. Big Ten had 6 first-teamers, 15 total selections. SEC, 6 first-teamers, 12 total selections. So if you're wondering who put the most football players on the CBS Sports All-America team as a conference, it's not the SEC, Big 12, ACC, Mountain West, MAC, and certainly not the AAC. It's the Big Ten. Congrats to them.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's Thursday. That's Mike Wallace.
Mike will be here.
I always love talking to Mike Wallace. Have you noticed this fellow over here?
When they're cleaning the windows over there.
But this guy been doing this for 30 minutes.
I know, and it's giving me anxiety.
For people who can't see it, do we have a camera out there?
No, not on that side, no.
There's a fella standing on the top of the Gibson, what used to be the Gibson Guitar Factory.
It's FedEx now.
FedEx.
Yep.
Standing on top of FedEx, and he is clearly washing bricks. He's hanging, if you want to know what this looks like.
He's like hanging over the edge.
He's hanging over the edge.
With
like
a water hose.
And he's like Like if he were going to commit suicide, you would just jump. But he doesn't want to do that. He's just doing his job. So he's hanging
now he's
over the
looking
edge.
straight at me. I wonder if he knows that we're talking about
So,
it.
yeah,
What if he's
what's up?
listening? What if he's listening?
What if he's got his AirPods
Literally, as we started talking about him, he started
So there he
staring
is. Look
at
at
me.
this
Like there he is looking at me.
What I'm trying to tell you is he's been doing this for 30 minutes. And I don't mean washing the bricks for 30 minutes. I mean washing that brick. He's been at the same place. He's been at the same place all day.
He's
He
been
hasn't
washing
moved.
that same brick for 30 minutes.
Is that the dirt? What is he? What? Buddy, spread it around.
Something's up.
What is going on with that brick? He's going to make sure that he ain't going to clean the whole wall maybe, but that one brick is going to look great.
That one brick is going to look awesome. I don't understand.
I'm telling you, I've been watching this guy all day.
30 minutes. He's been in that same spot. Look, he's still looking at me. He's like, don't talk about me.
I don't know what's going on. They got a cornhole set over there, though. I noticed that.
Yeah, they got a cool
We
setup
should go over there and play
They got a
cornhole
cool
or
setup
something
over
someday.
there.
We got to get over to FedEx.
Yeah.
Maybe let it warm up a little bit. We got to get over there someday. Mike Wallace going to be here tomorrow. Can't wait for that. We'll look back at NBA Cup. Be one day closer to Grizzlies and the evil Brooklyn Nets inside FedEx Forum. Tickets available Friday, Grizzlies.com. I can't wait for tomorrow. I wish we could do it right now, but I got other things I got to do. So enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy mine. Meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hook.